Welcome to the Daily Sun News Show. I'm David DeJohn coming to you from our newsroom on Spanish Springs Town Square, and your hometown news begins now.
Some would say you're so popular in the state you don't even have to campaign. What do you think?
So this will be a close election. It will be very hard fought.
You golfers know that amazing things happen from time to time in the links. Bad shots somehow turn good, unexpected animal encounters, equipment malfunctions, and even an occasional golfer going ballistic. That would be me. Solar panels provide electricity, which works its way down to the batteries. It's what they call a trickle charge. At the tender age of 16, John Slowick was declared a professional bowler by the American Bowling Congress. Now that he's retired and living in the villages, John still has what it takes. He recently bowled a perfect game, and that's one reason he's our Daily Sun Bowler of the Week. Well, let's roll the video and you'll check this out. Up, up, and away. Come on. Outside. When this happened, that is the cheap stuff.
In fact, right now he joins us live from a station that says they actually had to drop prices. David, what's up with that?
Taylor, late last night and earlier today, this station bumped the price of regular gasoline to $3.29 a gallon. Owners say that was the going rate, but as you can see behind me, the price is now $2.99 a gallon. Why? Because of competition from other stations, and that was nothing compared to the roller coaster pricing we saw earlier. On the way over, I checked those three stations, and you know, every one of them is now charging $2.99 a gallon. Out west here, we saw some stations hovering at $3.29, but it seems like the going rate is $2.99. No one seems to want to go over that price. Taylor?
About $3 right now.
That's where we find Fox 42's David DeJohn live with more.
Amanda and Joe, the store might not look very crowded right now, but earlier there was a real buzz going on. People want to know who won the Nebraska lottery. State officials have been in and out of the store all day long with cell phones in hand just in case that winner wanted it. And as a matter of fact, I have one of those officials with me right now, Tom Johnson with the Nebraska Lottery. Tom, what's the latest?
Alas and alack, we have nothing to report.
Well, one thing is for certain, Tom. We know that the owners of this U-Stop, big winners too. So how rich is that person? If the winner comes forward and opts to take the lump sum, they'll receive $124 million. The state of Nebraska gets 5% of the total winnings since the ticket was sold in our state. Back to you guys.
$124 million, that's still plenty. That is a lot of money. Well, Dave, any idea what the state will do with that money?
Kind of a tricky answer to that question. 25% of all tickets sold go to 4 funds. They include education, environment, gambling addiction, and the state fair. But as far as that 5% on today's winnings, that just goes to a general tax fund. The state of Nebraska can use that any way they choose. Back to you guys.
All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot, David, for that.
Here's David DeJohn live in the newsroom now with more. David.
Taylor authorities say they're dealing with a pretty clever 20-year-old. They claim inmate Raymond Thomas has come up with an elaborate plan, one that includes fake vomiting to get himself sent to the hospital. Once there, part 2 of his plan was put into action. The story is first tonight on the Fox 42 News at 9. Now, Raymond Thomas was originally locked up for attempted armed robbery. If caught, he'll face an additional charge, first-degree escape. Taylor?
And David, I understand that sheriff's officials are working with the Omaha police in this case. Have they found any leads at this point?
Not much. So far, the only thing they found is an orange jumpsuit owned by the correction center. That's what he was wearing, and he ditched that suit. They've also contacted his relatives, that according to the corrections department. Other than that, there are no leads, and officials say if you spot Thomas, to call 911 immediately.
Okay, we will keep you posted. David DeJohn live in the newsroom. David.
Find Fox 42's David DeJohn at the Quest Center. And Dave, you need to get on inside there, don't you?
What's that again, Tracy?
You need to get on inside if you can. That's going to be a great show.
Yeah, not too bad, except it's really dull right here. As you can see, there's no one in the lobby. The announcements are going on, and that's telling people what they can or cannot take into the arena. So that tells me only one thing. The group probably is not on the stage yet. U2 is supposed to go on anywhere between 9:15 and 9:30. But for many fans, tonight's concert turned into an all-day event. Here's a business idea. Find a golf cart community. wait for gas prices to skyrocket, then sell solar-powered golf carts.
Just this month over last year, I'd say we're probably up anywhere from 30 to 40%.
Business owner Gordon Oldham devised a recipe for success a year and a half ago. That's how long he's been selling golf carts mounted with solar panels. At first, the idea didn't catch on, but today,
the solar's just been a boom. I mean, we're doing more business now than we've ever done, especially in the last month or two. And this is typically our slower season because people have gone back.
the only misnomer about solar-powered golf carts is that they're actually solar-enhanced. Electricity generated by these panels can't fully charge the batteries, but it will allow your cart to travel farther. This is how it works. Solar panels provide electricity, which works its way down to the batteries. It's what they call a trickle charge. This particular cart has 6 batteries, but if you come over here, I'll show you the latest innovation called extended range. Instead of 6 batteries, this cart has 8. With an extended range golf cart, manufacturers claim you get up to 60 miles between charges. And in an area the size of the Villages, the farther you can drive, the better.
With solar, you get all the benefits of the electric, and you get the benefits of gas with the range. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds.
With a 25-year guarantee and a tax rebate to boot, solar panels could become a familiar sight in Florida's friendliest hometown. He travels an average 200,000 miles a year, spending most of his time in Washington. So I decided to make the most out of a rare opportunity. Clear up the controversy. Osborne or Osburn?
Well, I will answer to either. And but I guess growing up, my family always used the term Osborne, so like B-U-R-N.
But W-I-N best spells out his days as coach. Osburn helped define championship football in Nebraska. And after a 50-year career in athletics, he's managed to find a way to win at politics. Some would say you're so popular in the state, you don't even have to campaign. What do you think?
So this will be a close election. It will be very hard fought.
Osborne's quest for governor began several months ago. He hopes to bring efficiency and lower taxes to the state government.
We're driving some of our young people out of here early, and we're driving a whole lot of our older folks when they retire are looking at that tax base and they're saying, you know, this isn't cost effective for me to stay here.
But when it comes to Omaha's one city, one school district dispute, Osborne isn't ready to take a side.
And I have met with the superintendents on both sides. I've even met with some superintendents on both sides together, more recently than most anybody. But I've not politicized it and I've not publicized it. And as a result, I'm hoping there's a reasonable amount of trust.
Like the trust he inspired in fans and players, Osborne says the best years lie ahead. Some would say at your age, slow down, live a little. Not you.
There's a part of me that would say, you know, that's maybe the way to go. But there's also a part of me that has been very concerned about the state for a long time.
A burning desire to win. Perhaps that's the motivation that keeps Tom Osborne running. A little tumble. Let's roll the video and you'll check this out. Up, up, and away. Come on. That's right. When this happened. That is the cheap stuff. Oh! Out with the old and in with the new. Workers got down to the business of repairing a very old roof. Down below, members of the Villages Marine Corps League watch over. It was their idea to repair the home in an effort to keep a promise.
Once a Marine, always a Marine, and that's what we do.
The house belongs to Marine Lance Corporal Mike Jernigan. While on tour in Iraq, Jernigan got injured from a bomb blast. He lost both eyes, a hand, and now has a plate in his head. Today, he's a law student at Georgetown University. His mother, Tracy, wants to help her son while he's away at college and recently noticed the roof was leaking in Mike's home. That's when she ran into members of the village's Marine Corps League. When they offered to help out, Tracy responded,
"Funny that you should ask," and I presented him with this. These are bare minimum of what Mike needs, and all the way through a new roof. And they reviewed it, and next thing I know, Lee Radford came over and said, "Don't go any farther, we're going to help you out."
I thought, oh my goodness, how are we going to do that? So during the next 5 days, we started to solicit for funds around the country, around the state, for our different detachments and our different districts.
Can you guys put some of this brush in this dump truck here?
That's when Roy Stein stepped up to the challenge. He owns a disaster recovery company and would normally charge $7,000 for a job like this.
That stuff's coming up real easy, isn't it?
But what you don't know, Roy is a former Marine, and when he found out about Mike Jernigan, his mind was made up. The job would be done for free.
This is a drop in the bucket compared to what Corporal Jernigan has given to us.
And just like that, a cloud of uncertainty is lifted as work crews get down to the task of tearing out old roof shingles, replacing rotted wood, and installing brand new vinyl soffits. It's a labor of love Lance Corporal Jernigan will never be able to see. But even a bomb blast in Iraq can't blind him from the reality that once a Marine, always a Marine.
Whether he can see it or not, I know it's done, and all these guys up on the roof and all these guys here from the Marine Corps detachment know it's being done. So it's, you know, it makes you sleep better at night knowing you've had just a part of his life and you could help.
We're kind of pleased with what Roy has done. His statement is, it's not what I can do for him, it's what Corporal Jernigan has done for me.
Mike is a brother. Mike is a Marine, and that's what we do. We help each other.
That's not just a saying. They live that, they breathe that, and they do. They take care of their own. And this is a perfect example.
Reporting for the Village's Daily Sun News Show, I'm David DeJohn.